Taking bets on how short the meeting's gonna be? All set, liaison change,
No, I do not remember, because if she came this recently, she might have not been as, uh, scared of approaching all of us big dogs. So if she was here, maybe she would have been one of my and another.
Well, we don't always welcome everybody, we take some people out.
Yeah, we welcome everybody, we'll talk their ear off. And the guy in the pink shirt is the CFO. He's Bill Antonides, Bill.
Good evening. I hereby announce that pursuant to Section 5 of the Open Public Meetings Act, the adequate notice of this meeting has been provided in the notice which was sent to the Asbury Park Press, the Two River Times, and posted on the bulletin board in Township Hall and filed in the Township Clerk's office on January 3rd, 2023. Mayor Lucarelli?
Present.
Mr. Impreviduto?
Here.
Mr. Bontempo?
Here.
Mr. Foster is not with us this evening. Ms. LaMountain?
Here.
Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you, Wendy. Can everyone please rise for Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Can we all please stay standing for a moment of silence for our troops, both home and abroad, that protect us every day. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I see we have some visitors with us today, some students from, what was it, High Tech? Oh, yes, thank you. And welcome, and thank you for being here this evening. So our first, we just finished up with our executive session upstairs. And now we will be proceeding to our consent agenda items. Is there any members of the public that would like to make a, what's that, the minutes? I skipped the minutes again. I'm so sorry. I apologize, everyone. We have approval of minutes, April 25th, the 2023 executive and public sessions. Wendy?
Motion?
Motion.
Second? Okay. Wendy?
Mr. Bontempo?
Yes.
Mr. Impreviduto?
Yes.
Ms. LaMountain?
Yes.
Mayor Lucarelli?
Yes, thank you.
The minutes have been successfully passed. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay. Now we're at the consent agenda items, so we have public comment on consent agenda items. If anyone from the public would like to come up, state your name and address for the record,
Hi,
please.
Jenny Blumenthal, 41 Stony Brook Road. I noticed that in your executive session, you were talking about the horn antenna lawsuits and so forth, and it said ATOD June 23. Which meeting during June do you anticipate releasing the information?
That's not on the consent agenda.
Ah!
All right, let's see. Well, hey, rules are rules, What are we teaching these kids? It's not on the consent agenda, I said, but I will. I said consent agenda. Mike, Counselor, do you want to maybe answer this?
Sure.
Yeah,
To comply
out of
with
courtesy.
to comply with the statute, we list an anticipated time of decision, which is required under the Open Public Meetings Act. If there's a resolution to the matter in June, the minutes over the course of the matter would be released at that point. But if not, then my guess is the matter will carry on.
So you don't know which meeting it's going to be.
I wish I could predict the future,
And that
but
would
I
be
can't.
same true about the more curious one. The second item you were discussing, it was something about land, but it didn't say what land you were talking about.
I will mention I do have an attorney report tonight with some information.
All right, so I'll hold my thunder till then?
Sure.
Okay, great.
Thank you. Is there anyone else from the public that has comments on the consent agenda items only, please? Okay, thank you. Seeing none, I have to recuse myself from 2023-153. I am recusing myself. So do we have a motion for items 2023-154, where am I at?
There's no
154 to 2023-158. My apologies, thank you.
Could we have a separate discussion on 156?
Okay. I was recusing from 2023-156. Correct. And you're asking about
I did 156.
156?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
You have
Good.
something that says,
So you're accusing yourself 156?
that's correct.
Okay.
156.
Are you
I
still,
thought-
Committeeman, are you still asking for separate discussion on that
Yeah,
item?
yeah.
Okay,
On
so I guess
156.
if there's no other resolutions to be held, then it would be a resolution on the consent agenda, 2023-154 to 158, excluding 156.
Okay, do we have a motion for that?
Motion.
Second.
Wendy?
Mr. Bontempo,
Yes.
Mr. Impreviduto,
Yes.
Ms. Lamountain,
Yes.
Mayor Lucarelli.
Yes. Committeeman, you have something to discuss?
Yeah, so looking at all the employees that we're adding on 156, the last meeting, the mic drop? Am I done? I'm done. Oh, I'm all done. All done, 3 words. The last meeting, we appointed a public safety telecommunicator for $14.50 an hour. And we're bringing on an intern at 17, activity coordinator, watch over dog park for 18. I'm thinking that our public safety telecommunicators are a very important job in the town, and I think that they deserve to have their salaries reflected of, I'm not saying any job is less important, but these guys are the backbone for a lot of the police work that goes on. And I know it gets challenging when they have a lot of turnover, right? To replace them and train new people all over again. So if we are in that vein, I'd like to propose us adjusting our public safety telecommuter salary from $14.50 an hour, which I think is at or slightly below minimum wage right now. I think minimum wage is 15 or 14. 14 to be able to have them attract, because if we're paying people to swim club 17, activity coordinator 18, I think that these guys are, do an amazing job for everything for emergency service in the town, and they need to be compensated, I think, appropriately.
So who sets the rates currently, Jay, for that position or for the position?
The public safety telecommunicators or dispatchers, that is a position that is covered by our collective bargaining agreement, and we are in discussion and negotiations on that. So that will presumably be addressed, or it is part of the ongoing discussions and negotiations.
Jay, in regard to the dispatchers, are they part of an overall compensation plan? Do they get benefits and things like that?
Some do. Those that are classified as part-time do not receive the benefits that a full-time employee would get. But the telecommunications operators, some are part-time and some are full-time.
And I think one of the things we need to consider here, I'm not saying I'm against visiting the idea of the dispatchers, but I think one of the things we also need to take into consideration is that these are temporary summer employment positions, which I would imagine many of them are part-time, not on a full-time scale. And the dispatchers, those that are full-time, it sounds like do get the benefits package. So I think we have to look at it a little bit more closely, not just the numbers we see printed on this schedule here.
Yeah, I agree. I think I understand what you were comparing, but I don't think it's an even comparison because I don't know why. I'm guessing the head lifeguards, I don't know if they're what their ages are, but I don't know if they're returning, and obviously this is a set schedule that the rec department follows. And again, to your point, committeeman, yes, do our telecommunications, do they deserve more than this? I mean, it's hard to say, to put it that way, but I think it's something that's important to be looked at. And if this is part of the contract and it's part of something that you're actively working on, I would like to get an update from you on that to see where we are and what the proposals are, because it's not a bad argument to say that they should be making more than minimum wage to start.
You can say something.
Just say that I'm happy to provide you with our current proposal and counter proposal, where the status is.
Yeah, because if if they did a 40-hour work week, you're talking someone making $23,000 a year. You can't live in the area, $23,000, even if you're getting benefits, let alone you could get jobs in other places making more money. So to attract the people you want to attract and to retain, because tenure is important in that job, and they learn the system, they learn the town, they learn the interaction with our police, fire, first aid. I think it's important, and I think it would help, help the overall town, help the overall performance, help the overall, probably even free up some resources in the town, which the captains have to dedicate resources when new people come on to spend time with them, training them, where they could do other things that may be a little more proactive. I'm just saying, just in comparison, it just didn't sit right with me, especially since we're doing a lot of things right now, trying to improve morale in town, leverage some of the benefits, some of the money we have coming in, and I think that we haven't had that discussion in a while. But looking at this, it just kind of hit me, and I said, you know what, people that probably deserve it to be looked at, very quickly and very seriously.
There's no doubt that that is one of the focus points of our negotiations with that bargaining unit that includes not just the public safety telecommunicators, but a number of other positions within the township.
Good. Thanks, Jay.
Thank you, Jay. Okay, we good to move on?
Good. Make a motion
Okay.
for 156.
Motion.
Second.
There you go.
All, Wendy?
Mr. Bontempo?
Oh, wait, I did recuse. That's on the record, correct? Okay.
Mr. Bontempo?
Yes.
Mr. Impreviduto?
Yes.
Ms. Lamount?
Yes.
2023-156 was successfully passed.
Thank you very much, Wendy. Jay, did you have any other updates for this evening?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Just two quick items. Later this week, we will be in the process of cutting over our new phone system. We anticipate no glitches, but we are preparing for glitches that, as you well know, anytime new technologies implemented, there will be some issues. But that is happening later this week. So if anyone does encounter any phone issues, it could very well be on our end. Additionally, we are in the final stages also of the relocating our municipal court pursuant to our shared service agreement. Our court operation and the court operation for Colts Neck has been here in Holmdel Township Municipal Building for some months now, while the new facility in Colts Neck was being constructed. So there's, again, some transition that'll be happening in terms of equipment, but that will also be happening. And once the final changeover date is in place, we'll be announcing that publicly.
Thank you. And if the public remembers, or if anyone doesn't remember, this is something that I think was put in place 2 years ago as a cost-saving measure to the town. There was a very large decrease in our revenues during COVID, and there was a proposal at the time from our administrator, and yeah, I don't have all the numbers in my head, but it was substantial. We were operating in the red at the time, and the decision was made by the administration at the time and was supported by the committee to merge, do a shared services and merge the two courts together. So now that this is actually coming to fruition, I would like to keep a close eye on it to monitor how this is working, for the police department, for other services that have to, either do the commute or whatever. So, we would like to maybe get like a monthly report, to see how things are going whether it's with the chief or with our judge, just to make sure things are going smoothly and that they're on track to what our expectations are when we made that decision. So thank you very much, Jay. Bill, do you have anything for us?
Just one item. The budget's posted on the website, and there'll be a public hearing on the meeting on June 13th for the 2023 municipal budget.
Thank you very much. Michael, anything this evening?
Yes.
I know you have a bunch of things.
Just a couple, Mayor. Thank you very much, and good evening to everyone. The first item was referenced earlier by a public commenter, was an executive session topic regarding land use. The township is aware that there is currently litigation in the Superior Court captioned as Adani Property Group LLC v. Township of Middletown et al. From reading the complaint, the plaintiffs are seeking to develop two properties that are extremely close to the Holmdel Middletown border, specifically 1,114 Nut Swamp Road, in which the plaintiff seeks to build 62 units, as well as 490 Red Hill Road. Pardon me, the last one was 408 units, including 62 set aside for low and moderate income housing. The other was 490 Red Hill Road, which is proposed to be 66 units with 10 units set aside for a 15% low and moderate income housing. The Township Committee is aware of the complaint and certainly has concerns about the impact of those densities upon the Township of Holmdel. The 490 Red Hill Road property is directly across the street from Holmdel, and the Nut Swamp Road property cannot be accessed without traversing Crawford's Corner Road, half of which is in Holmdel. So the Township Committee has authorized the Township Attorney to enter into that litigation to represent Holmdel's interests in that litigation. So that was the first update. The second update is on the New Jersey natural gas litigation. As the public is aware, the Township authorized its special counsel months ago to appeal the BPU's decision to the Superior Court's Appellate Division. The Township's also become aware that recently some site activity has taken place. It is conceded that the applicant, in this case New Jersey Natural Gas, can proceed at its own risk, and if they were to lose the litigation, be required to rip out the improvements. We're currently seeking communication with New Jersey Natural Gas to understand if it was strictly a soil test that was conducted or if further work such as installation of improvements is intended. And if New Jersey Natural Gas intends to install improvements before the court renders its decision, the Township Committee is seeking special counsel to request a stay from the Superior Court's Appellate Division, putting a freeze on any potential construction until the court is able to enter its decision. And so to allow for that, I would propose a motion to authorize an increase in the not-to-exceed budget to special counsel at Potter and Dixon in the amount of $6,400 to allow for that.
Move. Second.
Wendy, is that a roll call?
Yes.
Yes, Wendy.
Mr. Bontempo?
Yes.
Mr. Impreviduto?
Yes.
Ms. LaMountain?
Yes.
Mayor Lucarelli?
Yes, thank you.
That will be 2023-159.
Thank you, Wendy. Thank you, Michael, for that update. Is that,
You're welcome.
Is that everything this
That
evening?
is, thank
Okay,
you.
Thank you. Okay, we have no engineer here this evening, so we'll go right to boards and committees. Committeeman Bontempo, do you have any updates for us this evening?
Perfect, thank you. So first I'll cover the library. So far in the month of May,
We've had 4,500 people visit the library. The Holmdel Book Club is thriving and continues to welcome new members. In the area of STEM education, the library had 15 teenage patrons attend a 4-week session on programming microcontrollers using Python coding, which was a collaboration with Girls Who Code and iSims, one of the largest tenants in the Bellworks building, right across the atrium from the Library and Learning Center. The library is going to be hosting a special military display in time for Memorial Day with items lent by members of the Veterans Committee here in Holmdel. Trish Schroeder, who is our librarian, is grateful for the time and effort of the Library Committee in helping the library to work on updating some of its technology and equipment. Next is Veterans Update, but it really combines the library. So the Veterans Committee will be partnering with the Holmdel Library and Learning Center and the Holmdel Library Foundation to host a special event with author Nellie LaHood about her book, The Bin Laden Papers. So if anybody probably doesn't recognize the name, but she was on 60 Minutes probably about 8 months ago. Leslie Stoll did a story on her and the genesis of the book when she was working at West Point. And under President Obama, they assassinated Osama bin Laden. And the team, the Navy SEAL team that went in after the assassination asked for extra time because they saw computers and notebooks in his apartment, and they were granted extra time. And she goes into the story about how she was able to, over the next few years, go through about 50,000 documents to help uncover what he was doing and what he was up to and other plans of attack he had on the United States. So we are very sought after author. Registration is required. Residents can visit the Holmdel Library website to register. Students are welcome, as well as any resident in town who's interested in going. And thanks to generous support of the Holmdel Library Foundation, each registrant will receive a free copy of her hardcover book and have the opportunity to get it personalized after her talk. So that's going to be Thursday, June 15th, 10:30, over at the Holmdel Library inside Bellworks. Memorial Day, a reminder that Holmdel will be holding our annual Memorial Day ceremony on Monday, May 29th, right here in front of Town Hall at 10:30. Right here in front of the Memorial Circle. There'll be chairs set up, and all residents are invited to attend. Right after our ceremony, the New Jersey State Memorial Day ceremony will be taking place right in back of our building right here, hosted by the Department of Military and Veterans Affairs and General Lisa Howe, who was at our dedication of the road in front of the firehouse last summer to General Tillelli. She's going to be presiding over that ceremony, which is going to be taking place this Saturday, May 27th at 11 a.m. At the Memorial Cemetery in Wrightstown as well. So there's going to be 2 events going on. Members of the public are invited and encouraged to attend. Just prior to the event, more than 300 Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts are expected to place almost 15,000 flags on the graves of veterans buried in the cemetery there in Doylestown on Saturday. That's all my updates.
Thank you very much for those updates. Committeewoman LaMountain.
Yes, good evening, folks. I'm going to be covering the updates for public safety and public works for Committeeman Foster tonight. I'm jealous he has a lot more to talk about than I usually have in community development. So I'm excited to have this chance. Holmdel Police Department, they are going to be focusing on distracted driver patrols and DWI patrols. The Holmdel Township Police Department has been awarded a grant of $14,700 to conduct the distracted driver patrols. The patrols will focus on people using their cell phones and other distractions while driving. And I can tell you it is quite a hefty fine if you get in trouble for using a cell phone while driving. I believe it's $206 for your first offense. So make sure to put that phone down. The Holmdel Township Police Department also received a $30,598 grant to conduct saturation patrols for DWI enforcement. Officers are going to be out on the roads using both of these grants through September of 2023. The Holmdel Township Police Department has a safety cadet program. This is open to students between the ages of 14 and 18 who are interested in law enforcement, and they are invited to join this program. Meetings will be held on the first and third Thursdays of the month during the school year and will coincide with the school calendar. There'll be a parents' meeting held in August. Anyone interested should contact Patrolman Jake Savage at 0084@holmdelpolice.org, or you can also call the Safety Traffic Bureau at extension 1733. There will be a Safe Bike Skills event Sunday, June 11th. Our police department and Easy Ride are co-sponsoring this event, which will be held at Bell Works from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. And it is open for children ages 5 and older who are able to ride a bike without training wheels. And through the program, the children are going to learn safe riding skills. Space is limited, so please don't wait till the last minute. And you can also register through the Recreation Department webpage. Any questions can be directed to Patrolman Matt Minoski at 0079@holmdelpolice.org or extension 1733. Our first aid squad. This is National EMS Week, May 21st through May 27th. And we would like to take a moment to thank all of our hardworking volunteers who serve the Holmdel First Aid Squad. Thank you for everything you do to keep the residents, our families, safe and healthy. I know it's not an easy volunteer position, that's for sure. The cadet program, look out for information regarding the First Aid Squad Cadet Program in the upcoming weeks. This is for high school students ages 16 and up. And then in regards to Public Works, it is also National Public Works Week. We would like to recognize and thank our dedicated employees of our Public Works Department who keep our roads safe, our town looking beautiful. And with Public Works, again, please note for those that are listening or messages get back to them that their hard work doesn't go unnoticed. And I'm going to give a shout out to a Public Works employee by the name of Hunter. I went to large item drop-off and this young man had no idea who I was. The weather was crummy and I had this big piece of furniture in the back of this old pickup truck. Certainly didn't look like I belonged in Holmdel at that moment. And I was struggling. It had filled with water because it had been in the back of the truck for a couple of weeks, had filled with water, and he noticed I obviously couldn't do it by myself. The end of the day, still crowded there, and he hopped right into the truck and helped me with it, no questions asked, with a smile on his face as if the day had just started. So, Hunter, if you're listening, thank you. Talking about large item drop-off, this weekend, Saturday, May 27th, we will have another large item drop-off, rain or shine, and residents should enter through the Wilson Boulevard entrance, and residents will also be able to donate medical supplies, as the mayor mentioned during our last meeting. Thank you.
Thank you very much for those updates, Deputy Mayor Improviduto.
Thank you, Mayor. From the Department of Recreation, the swim club opens this weekend. It'll be open Saturday and Sunday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m., and Monday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., weather permitting. Memberships are still available for the 2023 season. The Yoga in the Park program registration is now open. Visit the Rec Desk platform for more information and to register. The Mustang Passing and Attacking Soccer Camp registration is now open. You can visit the Rec Desk platform for more information and to register. From our Board of Education, the Girls Golf Championship. Sophomore Serena Gahn finished first place in the NJSIAA Girls Golf State Championship at Raritan Valley Country Club on Tuesday, May 16th. Serena shot a 2 over par and is officially the best female golfer in the state of New Jersey. So a wonderful accomplishment by Serena that we'd love to recognize. The Night of Notables event took place. The fifth and sixth grade students in the Gifted and Talented program held the annual 2023 Night of the Notables on May 8th at Bell Labs. The students posed as all types of interesting people from history, including scientists, inventors, politicians, authors, musicians, cultural leaders, and trendsetters in history. The notable figures came to life as the visitors approached them to talk about their claim to fame and other interesting parts of their lives. The students prepared for the event by doing research with the help of their teachers, Ms. Meredith Thomas and Ms. Ashley Mazzina. Trout in the classroom. My son just did this, actually. He's in 6th grade. Indian Hills 6th grade science students participated in the Trout in the Classroom program in partnership with New Jersey Fish and Wildlife and the New Jersey DEP. Through the program, the students raised trout from eggs until they were ready to be released. Trout in the Classroom is a science-based program that teaches children about the importance of cold water conservation through a hands-on approach to learning. The last of the 2023 trout were released this week. In terms of upcoming events, the high school SATs and SATs band is performing Wednesday, May 31st at 6:30 p.m. in the Holmdel High School auditorium. The Holmdel Theater Guild spring one-act plays at the Barn, which is the Duncan Smith Theater, Thursday and Friday, June 1st and 2nd at 7 p.m., and Saturday, June 3rd at 2 p.m. And the HFEE 5K run and Kids 1 Mile Fun Run is taking place Sunday, June 11th, which I participated in last year, and it was a fun run. The Holmdel Heritage Committee. We have a new Holmdel Heritage Committee member. I would like to welcome Georgina Simmons to the team. The Greek Festival will run from June 8th through June 11th at the Greek Orthodox Church in Holmdel. And in recognition of Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, Holmdel Library will be hosting 2 events that celebrate Chinese culture. The 2 programs will take place on June 7th at the Holmdel Library. Registration is open. Please contact the library to register. So a lot of great stuff happening all around in Holmdel, Mayor.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Deputy Mayor. And then I just have a few things this evening. So we're very happy to report that the new fire truck has arrived. And Chief Fernando has informed me that the new ladder truck was delivered at Crawford's Corner Firehouse Station this evening. The fire department will be spending time mounting all of the final equipment, hoses, radios, before it's officially put into service. The department will be undergoing training in the beginning of June on the operation of the new ladder truck. And Chief Fernando anticipates being able to place the ladder truck into service by July. The fire department is planning a dedication wet down event for the new truck in August, and we will keep you up to date on that. We have a primary election coming up this June 6th. Just as a reminder, it's Tuesday, June 6th. The polls will be open from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. Holmdel Town Hall will serve as a polling station, so residents needing to do business at Town Hall should plan for some heavier traffic than usual. And as the committeeman had mentioned, Monday is Memorial Day. We will be here at Memorial Circle at Town Hall with our ceremony at 10 a.m. I hope to see as many residents that are available to come. It's a wonderful event that we put on every year. Ceremony that we put on every year. And I also wanted to thank Chief Alaco, myself, and Committeeman Bontempo attended the Citizen Police Academy. The the graduation, thank you. Last week, you guys did a great job. You could see, I spoke to a few of the residents that attended. They had a wonderful time. There was a lot of interest in that, and we really appreciate you and your staff taking the time out of your schedules to work with the citizens of Holmdel that were enrolled in this program. And I think it's just a wonderful community relation program that you guys put on, and I wanted to thank you and your staff for that, and congratulate again all the residents that participated. With that, I'm going to conclude our meeting and open this up for our public portion of the meeting. So any residents, again, that would like to come up and make comments or ask questions to the committee, Wendy, can you please read them up?
In accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, this is a public comment period for public comment on any governmental issue of public concern. In accordance with Resolution 2022-17, public commenters are asked to raise their hand and wait to be recognized by the mayor before coming forward and making public comments. Commenters are asked to state their full name and address before commenting. Public commenters are limited to one comment, not to exceed 3 minutes. Comments should be directed to the mayor and township committee. If appropriate, the mayor may direct and recognize a staff employee or a professional to respond to comments either at this meeting or in writing after this meeting.
Thank you, Wendy. Can I have my first contestant? Yes, miss, please come up.
Hi, Janet Nisi, 7 Country Squire Lane. I'm here on behalf of Bob Campbell, 28 Stratford Lane, to read a shortened version of an email he sent to the Holmdel Township Committee. Here goes. Part of what makes Holmdel special, as you know, is the township's legacy of scientific excellence, invention, and discovery, and standing above, literally and figuratively, any of the many other aspects of this distinction is the horn antenna. May I offer a perspective on the importance of preserving this community, national, and international landmark right where it is. I got a science education many years ago, but my career was in management consulting. This enabled me to have conversations with colleagues and clients on 5 continents about mutual interests in things like cosmology and astrophysics. 2 points from these conversations. First, the Nobel-level work of Arno Penzias and Robert Wilson is known across the globe as a monumental step in mankind's understanding of the universe. The cosmic microwave background radiation proving the Big Bang origin of the universe, which that seemingly crude structure up on the hill picked up, and their interpretation of what it was, are considered by many people everywhere as having few parallels in science. They're shoulder to shoulder with the discovery of the double helix structure of DNA that underpins all life, and even Einstein's realization that gravity is the mass of big things curving space into depressions that people, baseballs, and planets fall into. Second, I've read a lot of related popular science books that huge numbers of people have read, and the horn antenna shows up continually in them. This tells us something important. It's one thing for any scientific advance to be cited in graduate-level textbooks and professional journals that few outside the field will wade through, but some breakthroughs are so significant that they transcend those dense treatises and become part of the universal shared story of what we know. And the horn antenna is ever present in this narrative, in the books read by people of all stripes in all places. Here are several bestsellers in just the past couple of years that cite this monumental discovery made right here in this town. 1, A Brief Welcome to the Universe. 2, Fundamentals, 10 Keys to Reality. 3, What's Eating the Universe and Other Cosmic Questions. 4, Fear of a Black Universe. 5, 7 Brief Lessons on Physics. The world, not just the world of scientists, is reading about what we have right here in Holmdel, and the world knows about its critical contribution to human knowledge. It has to be preserved on that spot, because what it and those two brilliant researchers gave to us is priceless. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Is it? Yes, sir.
Good evening. My name's Art Heath, 25 Van Brackle Road. I moved to that residence in 1968 on land that my 3rd great-grandfather had purchased in 1832 from a guy named Matthias Van Brackle. So that got me interested in our local history, and that's when I decided to join the Holmdel Historical Society. So I'm here tonight to urge the committee to preserve Crawford Hill and the horn antenna. The Holmdel Historical Society's mission is to recognize Holmdel's unique story, both for today's residents and for future generations. Our work includes preservation and restoration of historic places like Dr. Cook's medical office and the old St. Catherine's Church. Crawford Hill and the Horn Antenna are especially important to us as they are an essential part of our local history. And Crawford Hill is recognized globally as the site of one of the most important scientific discoveries of all time. And as a personal aside, may I say that my fourth great-grandfather was David Crawford, and my third great-grandmother was Betsy Crawford. So as someone who's been involved with the historic preservation, I'd like to remind the committee that we are presented with a unique opportunity to preserve not just an historical artifact, but also a piece of historical context. What must have felt like to stand up there on that plateau, gazing up at the stars out in the woods and pondering the origins of our universe. So let me say that given a better understanding of Holmdel's story. So I have gone over the concept plans on the township's website, and from the perspective of an historic preservationist, I must say it's laughable to have an important national landmark set amongst the backdrop of prefabricated fountains, fire pits, and Adirondack chairs, not to mention high-density housing. So I'm going to go off my notes for a second and tell you that I worked with George Joinson to get Dr. Cook's office on the National Registry. And at that time, we wanted to have it designated as a national landmark because it's the oldest freestanding medical office in the country. However, we were informed that because it had been moved, it was not eligible as a national landmark. So I want you to keep that in mind. And P.S., let me thank the committee for your efforts to save the Horn Antenna. So in other words, placing the Horn among 80 townhomes is like viewing history with blinders on. And if we fail to preserve the entire site, we're seeing only a piece of history. And oh, is that my time? So without Crawford's Hill, we just cannot understand the context. And so while it would be convenient for the developer, it would lead to eroding the details of the story and eventually erasing part of our past. Residents do not wish to see our national landmark treated as an afterthought, and the Holmdel Historical Society firmly believes that Crawford Hill and the Horn Antenna should be preserved as a public park, accessible to everyone, so that all may see the place which forever changed science. Holmdel's place in history is something to truly cherish. And don't allow a developer to take the details out of context, and instead celebrate this momentous discovery the way it deserves to be celebrated, and give something we can be proud of to share with future generations. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and I just wanted to, if you don't mind, just clarify one statement or one line that you had in your reading there. You referred to the township's plans that you saw on the website. They are not the township's plans. I just wanted to clarify that for the record. But those were a proposed developer's plans that we posted on our website. So just wanted to clarify that. But thank you very much, and thank you for your family's history here in Holmdel. Is there anyone else this evening that would like to, from the public, like make comments or ask questions to the committee? Yes.
Ken G, 8 Say Street. Good news, I don't have any prepared notes or anything like that. Just want to follow up on a couple of points. One is the Middletown situation. You guys are aware of the lawsuit, but if it's the same properties that we're talking about, earlier last week, Middletown actually introduced an ordinance to allow them to exercise eminent domain as well. So I assume you guys would know that, but just in case. The other thing is that I'm surprised the deputy mayor didn't mention this because it would be near and dear to his heart. but the superintendent of BOE did announce that a fifth grade student entered the Monmouth County Historical Commission's annual essay. I'm sure it's not a surprise to you. Guess what she wrote? The horn antenna. Guess what? She won first prize. And she will be awarded that, I think, June 5th or June 6th at the Monmouth County. So I believe, I haven't read her essay or anything like that, but I believe that she also is an advocate to keeping it there as well, too. So I just want to share that with the committee. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I was not aware of that, but thank you for that. The second part I wasn't aware of. We were obviously aware of the first part. Thank you very much for that update with the student. Yes, Mr. Blumenthal.
Ralph Blumenthal, 41 Stony Brook Road. I'd just like to ask Mike to follow up your earlier comment about the litigation with regard to the property in Middletown. Who is suing who about what?
It's a builder's remedy lawsuit, so it's an applicant that is seeking to build an inclusionary affordable housing development pursuant to the Mount Laurel Doctrine.
Is Middletown at this point not compliant with round 3, which
They-
would make them?
They do not have.
Holmdel is exempted from such lawsuits because we are compliant.
They do not share the same immunity that we have in Holmdel.
That makes it more complicated yet, for sure, for them. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Is there anyone else from the public tonight that would like to make comments or ask questions? Yes, Mr. Maneri?
I just like a quick update. Sorry. Yes, Peter Maneri, 59 Bethany, Holmdel. Just a quick update on the horn, DJ, where we stand right now and where it may be going in your eyes.
Again, unfortunately, Peter, there's just not a lot we can say because we are. The one thing I can say is that we are still continuing conversations and negotiations with the owner, and that is that's one thing I could say. But there's really not much more I can update the public on yet. But as soon as we have something, I promise that I made that commitment. As soon as we have any new information that we can speak about, I will. Obviously update the public as soon as we get that information. Is there anyone else this evening that would like to make any comments? Seeing none. Oh yes, Chief, I'm so sorry. I usually ask, but I just you didn't make any motion to me or anything, so please, Chief, come up.
Good evening, Mayor, Township Committee. I just want to, a couple additional updates that I want to bring you up to date on. The locker room that we were having, the locker rooms, the men and women's locker rooms that we were having renovated was completed last week, and we moved into them this past weekend. They came out fantastic. It really looks great. If anybody wants to see them, just let me know. I'll give you a tour of them. A couple little things here and there that we're working on, but it came out fantastic. This Thursday, I'm happy to say that our newly hired officer, Natalie Elharfouche, will be graduating Monmouth County Police Academy, and she'll be starting our field training program at that point in time. She's replacing the officer that left to go to Tinton Falls for another position. I'm honored this evening also to let you know that the 4 officers that were recognized a few weeks back by at the awards dinner for the Monmouth and Ocean County Intelligence Bureau, MOCIB, we've been notified that they are going to be recognized, and they're going to be given awards at the Monmouth County 200 Club awards dinner on June 2nd. And that's Sergeant John Martin, Patrolman Chris Broglia, Patrolman Mike Nolan, and Patrolman Joe Desco for their involvement with that arrest back in October 2022 with the armed subject on Highway 35. And then last, we were notified that we have 2 additional officers that are being recognized by MAD, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, at their awards ceremony on June 22nd. It's a breakfast ceremony. And the 2 officers are Patrolman James Herlihy and Patrolman Darrell Jackson. They're receiving the recognition of excellent award certificates that will be presented to them that day for their involvement in DWIs in 2022. So that's all I have this evening.
Yeah, wonderful. Thanks, Chief. I did get last week, or was it last week? Jay took me down toward the because I never saw it myself, so it really came out great. Yeah, really nice, and I think it's going to be a great improvement for what they had, what they're getting into now. So yeah, it looked great, and yeah. Anything else there?
Absolutely. It will carry us on the next 50 years.
For another, what, 40, 50 years? Yeah, hopefully.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Chief. Yeah. Yeah, we thought you had you were going to read a statement about preserving the horn for a second there. We appreciate your updates, Chief. Thank you very much. With that, we'll conclude the meeting. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Thank you. Good night, everyone.